we're talking about what's happening in the 731 on the Hub City Now with your host, Tyrone Tony Reed Jr.
Hello, welcome to Hub City Now. I'm your host, Tyrone Tony Reed Jr. And today we have with us Scott Conger, President and CEO of United Way of West Tennessee. Thank you for being here today.
No, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Tell me a little bit about United Way of West Tennessee. No, actually, tell me a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
All right. Well, like I said, I'm President and CEO of United Way of West Tennessee. Myself, I've been in Jackson all my life. Grew up here. Family's been here for quite a while. Came to United Way last May. And been CEO and president there, and worked on some changes. We go through at United Way. Have a wife. Been married 3 years. I think about that. She wonderful. Teaches third grade now at Denmark Elementary. She's been teaching about 6 years. And we have a new boss of the house. Our daughter Madeline was 4 months old last week, and so she's working on training us on what we need to do to make sure she's happy. And so I'm served on the city council in my second term now here in Jackson, District 5, Midtown.
Okay.
And I enjoy living in Jackson and West Tennessee and everything about it.
Okay. Why did you decide to become part of United Way?
Service is one thing that I'm really passionate about, and serving people in West Tennessee is really one of those things that United Way is very synonymous to just the transition from where I was at the West Tennessee Healthcare Foundation, and the opportunity came up, and I was asked to apply for the position, and jumped on the opportunity, and was lucky enough and blessed enough to be offered the position to work there. And it's just opens up so many avenues of ways that we can serve people in the 14 counties that we have in our service area in West Tennessee, and meeting great people, finding new ways that we can help create that sustainable social change in West Tennessee, and really start to make an impact on making a better tomorrow for West Tennessee.
Take us through a typical day of being the president and CEO, or is it not?
I don't know if there is a typical day. So for us, we are a transformational agency. We're making the transition from a transactional agency to a transformational agency.
Explain that.
And so the old United Way, of what your grandparents are used to, are going to the big factory, the big company, do the payroll deduction. You have what's called an allocations committee once a year that meets. Mm-hmm. They determine what nonprofit agency programs get funded based on how they apply.
Okay. And
then we start it back over again, and we fundraise in the fall, and we make the allocations in the spring. And the ease of what it was, that's what made United Way unique 20, 30 years ago, before the internet, before social media, before the different ways that nonprofits now can go about their own fundraising, and that donate now button on a website or on a Facebook page. And so the thing that made United Way unique is now no longer unique. So we're working to change how we do things to still remain relevant and to remain that premier nonprofit in West Tennessee. Mm-hmm. And so being transformational is what we're going to do over the next 18 months, and that is going from that transaction of just the allocations and fundraising to really doing community needs assessments, analyzing empirical data in West Tennessee, what the needs are. Mm-hmm. Right now, the programs that we work in are in 3 pillars of health, education, and financial stability. Okay. And so we want to drill down a little further. And so we want to look at goals that we want to set in each community in West Tennessee of 2 or 3 goals in health, 2 or 3 goals in education, 2 or 3 goals in financial stability, and work to move that needle. Right. And work to create that sustainable social change, and to really have those tangible, quantifiable outcomes every year that we can report and tell people, hey, we're making a difference here. We're moving people from point A to point B. We're not only providing assistance, and we're not only providing money, but we're empowering people to get out of their situation, whether it's through literacy, whether it's through education, workforce development, finding better quality health care, better access to health care, mm-hmm. and then being able to empower them to live on their own, whether they get that assistance from the emergency assistance one time, whether it's financial literacy classes, job training. All those things really work together to make a really healthy community. When you have people that are active, that have quality health care, mm-hmm. You have people that are educated, and you have people that are financially stable, and that really is a benefit to the entire community.
And how, it sounds awesome. And how how did you come about this civic attitude, this ability, this mindset of serving others?
I don't think I really had a choice in my family.
I was going to ask you about that, but go ahead. Go ahead.
It really was ingrained in me from the start. My mother and my grandmother, both educators.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather was mayor of Jackson for 21 and a half years. Wow. And so growing up, it was really ingrained in me that it is our responsibility, no matter what we have, that we have to give back, and we have to be our brother's keeper and to really look out for each other. And it's all our responsibilities to make sure that not only the communities that we live in, but the surrounding communities, that can be the best that they can be.
Right. And what else have you done, because of that?
Oh my gosh. Greatly involved in church, serving this year as the district lay leader.
Okay.
Lamb of the Moor United Methodist Church is my home church.
Okay.
Past president of the Jackson Rotary Club, been involved in the Lambeth Area Neighborhood Association, served on numerous nonprofit boards before I took the position at United Way, and because of conflicts of interest, I don't want to be president of an agency that funds an agency that I'm on the board for, so I resigned from those positions. But being involved at a board level, at a community organization level, from a civic club standpoint, to working in higher ed, to working at the West Tennessee Healthcare Foundation, to really just do everything that I can and give the little amount of gifts that God has given me to really help people.
Mm-hmm. And what is it like to do that? How does that make you feel?
I think it's what I'm called to do. And so, if you ask my wife and ask my staff, I'm not as emotionally charged as some people. I'm very pragmatic, and I like to solve problems, and I like to be involved. And to really find ways that we can help people. It's a great feeling, but I think it's more of a responsibility that we all have to be involved and to really make sure that we're looking out for one another.
Right. And you said you went into office when you became president and CEO when?
May of last year, so I've been here all of 16 whole months.
How has that time been for you, that 16 months?
It's been quick. Some days it seems like it's been 16 years, and then some days it looks like I've blinked and 16 months have gone by. It's been fantastic. Like I said, we serve 14 counties. We break those up into 8 regions. And so our office is fully staffed, has 6 people. And so six people are working with 80 nonprofit agencies that work in 110 programs, working with over 300 volunteers every year throughout 14 counties and 8 regions. So we're stretched thin, but I mean, it's if you don't love what you do in this area and this job, then it's not going to work for you. And blessed to have people that I work with that love what they do, and they are passionate about the communities they work in, and passionate about West Tennessee. And so it makes coming to work a great feeling every single day.
Right. What are some of the organizations that you all help?
We help numerous organizations and really partner with them. RAP, JACOA, Aspel Recovery. Like I said, we have 80 across West Tennessee, and based on their geographic location, some like RAP serve 21 counties in West Tennessee, I believe, and some serve a couple of counties. And so we have some overlap with some of the agencies that we work with in different counties, and some are just specific for the county that we serve. Some Matthew 2540 in Dyer County just serves Dyer County, and so some are very specific and some are very regional.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about what services that United Way provides, and also how you can help United Way. We'll be right back.
People don't know what to expect, but we never let the critics' perception shadow our vision of men's fashion. We live and breathe what we do. We understand the trends, the fit, your tailoring needs. For over 20 years, we have raised the bar. We are Styles, the future of fashion. A man's style evokes something bigger than just the clothes he wears. It's a statement that this man is in control. It's your introduction before the handshake. Our quest is to bring men's fashion back to its roots. 1141 Van Drive in the Collins. Let us reintroduce you to the suits and accessories of brands you trust, complemented by knowledgeable staff and fine tailoring. Everything a man needs. We are Styles Menswear, the future of fashion. Call 668-6900.
You depend on your tires. Let R&R Tire Express keep you on the road and safe with a complete set of new tires from the brands you trust, starting as low as $16 per week with our pay-as-you-go program. Choose easy payment options, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, and at R&R, complete installation with lifetime rotating balance, flat repair, and 12 months 24-hour roadside assistance is absolutely free. Only at R&R Tire Express.
Hello, welcome back to Hub City Now. I'm your host, Tyrone Tony Reed Jr., and we're back here again with Scott Conger, who is the president and CEO of United Way of West Tennessee. Thank you for being here again. We're going to go into specific services that United Way of West Tennessee provides, starting with free tax preparation. How does that work?
Yeah, it's our volunteer income tax assistance program. We call that VITA is the acronym. And so in the spring, we have a great group of volunteers that we partner with, Bank Corps South, and we're really looking to expand that. Right now, it's only in Madison County. And so last year, we helped just a little over 200 people, brought over $300,000 back into the West Tennessee economy. And so those are people who could possibly miss out on their earned income tax credit, who fall within a certain parameter of where their economic guidelines are on what they make a year annual salary. One of the great stories that I remember when I just started and we had a celebration finishing up VITA in May, and one of the ladies told it, a woman 63 I think came in, first time doing the volunteer income tax assistance, got her income taxes done, looked at it and just immediately started crying. And of course, a volunteer was not equipped to handle that. And so, ma'am, why are you crying? Asking the questions. And she said, well, I had paid $75, $150, and $175 the past 3 years to get my income taxes filed, and I didn't get back near this much. I don't even know what this earned income tax credit thing is. I've never seen it before. And she had qualified for it the past 3 years and had been taken advantage of. And so those are the kind of stories that we hear from that, and just a small subsect of people that we can help through that program, and looking to expand it so we can help more. Not only that, but bring those dollars back into the West Tennessee community, because they're spending the money here. They're not going to California or to somewhere else. They're getting their income tax refund, and they're spending it right here in West Tennessee. Right.
And then you have the disaster relief. Tell us.
We hope we never need that, but we're prepared to have it. We are one of the organizing bodies that works when a disaster happens, and we work with the American Red Cross and other agencies.
What kind of disasters specifically?
Floods of 2010, 2011, tornadoes, anything that's a natural disaster. We organize and help people get volunteers together to do the home assessments, to go through and to make sure that people are getting the things they need if they're displaced, if their home's been destroyed. And so hopefully we don't need it, but we have that available if and when a disaster does happen.
Okay. And Christmas partners, what was it?
That's one of the things that I love right there, because when you're in the charity business, no matter how altruistic you are and people that you want to help, there are people that always try to game the system. And so we serve as an organizing agency for that, with the multiple nonprofit agencies that have the Christmas toy stores and the Christmas stores for the families. And we make sure that there's no duplication of services. So Tony's not going to the Carl Perkins Center, to ARM, to St. Mary's and getting a huge Christmas and somebody else isn't. And so we're making sure that those are very equitable amongst the other nonprofit agencies, and that people aren't really gaming the system.
Okay. And 211. What's 211?
It's a fantastic service that probably not enough people know about. Last year alone, with no one knowing about it, we still handled 6,000 calls. And so the great thing is, anyone in West Tennessee in our 14 counties, whether you have a landline or a cell phone, you can pick up the phone and dial 211. You come to our office, and a real person is going to answer. And we're going to ask you who you are, because that's important. And then we're going to ask you where you're located, what county you're in, and what your need is. And then we have a database of nonprofit agencies and programs and services that hopefully we can match someone up with based on their geographic location. Sometimes that is not a great call, because maybe they've exhausted their resources before they call us, or maybe there's no one in that particular county that offers the assistance that they need. But a lot of the times we can connect them with someone that can help them out and get them the much needed assistance they have. The interesting thing about our 211, when I started last year, if you had a Verizon cell phone and dialed 211, you went to Memphis. If you had an AT&T cell phone and dialed 211, you went to Nashville. And so working with the two United Ways in Memphis and Nashville, and working with AT&T and Verizon, getting contract signed. Now, if you have those cell phones, you can call anywhere in West Tennessee and you come to our office instead of being shipped to other parts of the state.
That's crazy. That sounds like the mail situation we have here, where
if
you want to mail somebody from Jackson something, it has to go to Memphis first and then come back to Jackson. Well, what other programs do you all, you say you all work with other charities. What kind of assistance do you all give them?
We provide grants.
Okay.
And so last year we were able to put about $1.3 million back into West Tennessee. Wow. And like I said, and the very unique thing about that is, even though we're United Way of West Tennessee, the money raised in Carroll County stays in Carroll County.
Okay.
Madison County stays there, likewise in Dyer County. And so we have what's called community impact panels that make those decisions. And so the agencies in the particular counties get to apply, tell us what their program is. We have their 990s, their audits, their financial records, their budgets. I mean, we get every piece of information about that agency that we can, and then about their program. And so those volunteers within that county who know what the program does, they see the results of the program, they get to make a decision determining on the amount of money we have to give and the amount of money that's requested on how those agencies and those programs get funded in those counties. So the staff is not sitting here in Jackson making decisions on what's happening in Carroll, Weakley, Dyer County, McNairy County. It's actually people that live in those communities that get to make those decisions because they see the work and they know what the people are doing, those agencies are doing. And so I think that's kind of the unforeseen magic that we have going on, that it's not one big group. It's very small groups working together throughout West Tennessee. And like at that point of the season, we usually have somewhere between 150 to 250 volunteers that are making visits to these agencies, seeing the programs real life, looking over all the information, interviewing the agency directors and talking about the programs. And I think one of the really important things is that we don't fund an agency. And so a particular agency doesn't get funded for their operational budget. We fund programs, and they have to report to us twice a year. So we have to see the outcomes and outputs of those programs. Okay. And that's a determining factor of what they get, if they get funded next year. So if we're giving them X amount of dollars and they're not providing the outputs of the outcomes, then they run a risk of not getting that grant the following year.
Right. So like you said, it's programs that those organizations are doing, not you're not keeping that charity open. You're providing a program grant. And you said is it grant money?
It's a grant from us, and so it's the money that we raise, and so we make those grants, and so it's no operational cost. And so like we work with 80 nonprofit agencies that operate 110 programs. So some agencies operate multiple programs that they get funding for, and I mean it's fantastic that the volunteers actually get involved. And we see a lot of volunteers from our community impact panels that go and visit those agencies that end up volunteering at those agencies. We like to utilize some of our companies that we work with. And so Lionel Bassell that's here in Jackson, they like to go out to the agencies, and they end up doing one day a year. They have a volunteer day, and they did a playground for Hands Up this year. They did a pavilion and a kind of a hangout place for Madison Haywood Development last year. And so some of these agencies get some great projects taken care of because these folks get invested. They get there and they see the great work that's going on, and then they have their volunteer days and really make a difference outside of their community impact panel.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about how you can help United Way of Tennessee. We'll be right back.
People don't know what to expect, but we never let the critics' perception shadow our vision of men's fashions. We live and breathe what we do. We understand the trends, the fit, your tailoring needs. For over 20 years, we have raised the bar. We are Styles, the future of fashion. A man's style evokes something bigger than just the clothes he wears. It's a statement that this man is in control. It's your introduction before the handshake. Our quest is to bring men's fashion back to its roots. 1141 Van Drive in the Collins. let us reintroduce you to the suits and accessories of brands you trust, complemented by knowledgeable staff and fine tailoring. Everything a man needs. We are Styles Menswear, the future of fashion. Call 668-6900.
You depend on your tires. Let R&R Tire Express keep you on the road and safe with a complete set of new tires from the brands you trust, starting as low as $16 per week with our pay-as-you-go program. Choose easy payment options, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, and at R&R, complete installation with lifetime rotating balance, flat repair, and 12 months 24-hour roadside assistance is absolutely free. Only at R&R Tire Express.
As a former NFL football player, I never thought I would let this happen to me. I knew I had to do something. Thanks to VIP's weight loss and testosterone programs, I'm in the best shape of my life. I feel better, I look better, and live a healthier life.
Hello and welcome back to Hub City Now. I'm your host, Tyrone Tony Reed Jr. I'm here with Scott Conger, President and CEO of United Way of West Tennessee. And now we come to the fun part. We're going to talk about how you can help United Way of West Tennessee. And we're going to start with Scott. Can you tell us how people can get involved and what they can do?
There's so many ways to get involved, from calling us at the office. Our number is 731-422-1816. Checking out our website, which is uwwt.org. The great thing that we launched this past year is a volunteer website platform, which is, I think it really needs, volunteerwtn.com.
Okay.
And the best way I can describe it is it's like Facebook for volunteering.
Okay.
And so you can go online, you can make your own profile, you can click on what you're interested in, what you want to do, and then nonprofit agencies have their own profiles there, and they can put on what their needs are, and it matches you up based on where you want to volunteer at and what your interests are, and it sends a little notification to you that there's a volunteer opportunity.
Wow, it sounds like eHarmony for volunteer.
Never thought of it like that. And then it's great for kids that have to do community service hours, because you can only find an opportunity, but you can log hours, and it's just exportable to an Excel spreadsheet. So instead of kids going to Salvation Army King Sama form. I lost at King Sama second form. They have it on there printed out, and then when you volunteer, you can say so-and-so at this agency has to verify it, and then so they can give contact information so the guidance counselor can verify that the hours have been done, because, we know kids are always honest, and they never embellish what they've done, especially when it comes to their community service. So it gives the guidance counselors and the administration a little accountability on checks and balances there.
Okay. What are some other ways that people can help United Way?
For us, it's getting involved. And if you have a small business, a company, and you want to do a workplace campaign, that's the easiest way to give. It's just like giving to retirement fund. Take out a payroll deduction, you don't see it, it's less painful. And if you get the money, having your bank account, and you got to write a check, it's a little more pain involved. If you never see it, it's not that painful. And so there's no business too small for us to work with. And then that way it just really opens doors for so many more opportunities to get involved on what we do on a regular basis with the programs that we operate. Volunteer income tax assistance. If you have any financial experience whatsoever, we'd love to have you there. Community impact, and just the daily volunteer opportunities. We get calls from our agencies all the time saying, hey, we need this. Could somebody help us out here? Do you have someone that could come help us out? And so we have opportunities all the time, and so just ready to connect people to meet those needs that are abundant in West Tennessee.
Okay. Why should people volunteer?
That's what it's about. We're here to help each other. If we all just looked out for ourselves, then that would be a lonely, cold, mean place that we lived in. We are not designed to live by ourselves and to not be sociable, and so. Volunteering has so many more intangible benefits on the person volunteering than people realize. New social networks, meet new friends, get a new outlook on life, get a new perspective of things that are going on, and just really opens your mind up to so many more things. And not to mention you're helping folks out at the same time.
Right.
And so you're helping yourself out in ways that you could never imagine. And then you're helping people out and making our little section of the world a better place when you do so.
Okay. Tell us about the Community Impact Fund. What is that?
It's really 8 funds.
Okay.
And so a community impact fund, like I said, based on where you live or where you want to give, you can do that and give to that. And that goes into the large bucket in the county that we invest in those agency programs for the grants. And so the really neat thing, if you work in Madison County, but you live in Gibson County, then you can say, I want my gift to go to Gibson County, to the community impact fund there. And so we realize and understand that the donor is our customer. Mm-hmm. And so it's about customer service as well. Right. And so even if someone says, hey, I know all these agencies in West Tennessee, I like them. My favorite is St. Jude. Right. You can designate that as long as it's a health and human services nonprofit agency that is a 501c3, you can designate your gift to. So the only time that a donation or a gift leaves West Tennessee is just because the donor wishes it to. Okay. And so other than that, it stays right in the community that is given to.
Okay. What about the endowment program?
You know, for us and for every organization, especially a nonprofit, endowment is a lifeblood. Mm-hmm. And so for us to operate the programs that we do and the staff that we have, small as it is, 6 people that work in 14 counties, we do charge a small administrative fee, which is 15%. Okay. And so as we grow our endowment and as we build that, then that administrative fee goes down. And so if we get to a certain point in our endowment, then our endowment can fund our overhead, and that admin fee goes away. So then the entire dollar you give, the entire $5 you give, goes to where you want it to go. And we can pay our overhead, our lights, our utilities, our salaries out of that, which not much comes from salaries, I can tell you that, with any nonprofit. But as that endowment grows, it makes us more sustainable by ourselves, and we won't need to take that small administration fee out.
All right. Well, can you tell us once again how volunteers can contact you all and how they can reach you?
They can give us a call at our office, 422-1816. Go to our website, uwwt.org. Check out our volunteer website, volunteerwtn.com. See me walking down the street or driving, yell at me. I mean, we'll get you involved. You know, if you want to get involved, we'll find a way to get you involved.
All right. Well, we thank you for being here with us today. We also like to thank our sponsors, the City of Brownsville, R&R Custom Wheels and Tires, Styles Menswear, and Baskerville Funeral Home. Don't forget, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Find out more about that information. Look out for one another. Take care of one another. And we'll see you next time.